Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Maika, thank you. There's a beard mind. Let's see. Does anyone have a question based on the contemplations you had over the last couple of weeks? Maybe we started when there was a lot of confusion, but is there more confusion now or no? Yeah. There's more? One second, my dear. One second. Should we try the experiment of allowing everyone to unmute? Okay, that's good. All of you should be able to unmute. Muni can come first. Yeah. No? Okay, now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. If this is not so important. I arrived today. This is not what I wanted to say.
Yes,
I
yes.
arrived today to check from Portugal, being there for 2 months, and just yeah. Maybe if you can bless my stay somehow here also. Thank you. If I can have one question, and it's more to expose something. It's like when we were like I don't know if I could be present every satsang, but we were like exploring as always the apparency of our self-awareness and as consciousness, and like there is sometimes this doubt that it's not apparent, and it was already before we were speaking about it. That it's I felt that the apparent as awareness, it's very like easy. It's apparent basically that I see it's me who is seeing everything, and then we were speaking that, but this appearance is not possible without us first being there, being. So, and last satsang, it was I wanted to come to expose that it's not apparent as being, but then also I see that it's also like it's coming from the mind, that it's like I could see that this confusion was coming from the mind. I don't know. And without this, I'm not confused.
Yes.
I'm like satisfied, but still just even happy that I could bring this.
Okay, thank you. I feel it's a good start to Satsang today. So, let's go really slowly. It is apparent to us that I am the witness of everything that is perceived. And this witnessing has no quality, it has no shape, it has no color, it has no size. Now, keep this apparency in the waking state while not being aware of God's light or Sadguru presence or the presence of your being. Just see if that is possible. And remember that we are checking on the possibility of recognizing this and not on the possibility of understanding this. So what is the difference? Maybe slowly I can explain that also. The recognition is independent of what we conclude conceptually. The recognition is just known intuitively. What may happen many times is that we have the insight and then we start relying on the conclusion of what the insight was rather than the insight being alive in this very moment. So when we may say, but it is clear but that I am witnessing all of this, it is very clear. We may be relying on a conclusion about a past experience. And let's check together whether this intuitive insight is possible without an awareness of your presence. Like, don't be aware of your presence and yet be clear that you are the pure witnessing of all that is perceived. I know I said a lot of words, so is the experiment clear? The last part is the main part, which is that see if you can be aware of or have an insight of yourself as this pure witnessing without being aware of your presence. Let's see, if the light of presence is absent and you continue to be in the waking state, whether your true self is apparent to you.
Somehow it feels impossible a little bit.
It feels possible or impossible?
Impossible. Like when impossible right now.
Yes.
The knowing of like that of the presence is that I know that I am somehow.
Yes. It just without this presence, the invisible light which allows us to be free from the illusion and recognize the truth, is just not possible. And another tip I gave the other week was we can check in which way we are looking. If we are looking outward through with our attention, then we may come to something that we may conclude is myself, but it is completely empty. But for this looking, notice that it is independent of attention, and if at all attention is being used, it is withdrawn. It is not something that you are concluding from where your attention may be going. So, as we are open and empty, can we divide the unmanifest and manifest in any way? Can we say, the unmanifest is clear, but the manifest is not apparent? Or the manifest is apparent, but the unmanifest is not? Can we divide?
So I don't know what to say now. And I wanted to say I don't know if this what you shared if it's completely apparent like that just somehow.
The thing with this is that it's quite binary. It's quite binary in the sense that it's just fully apparent, or we are taking something else to be the truth.
Mhm.
You see? Now, also what could happen is that it is just simply apparent, and it is so simple for the mind that it concludes that it can't be that way. It has to be something else. You see? So where will we go for the right answer about whether the truth is apparent to us or not?
Somehow to our intuitive insight, like
Yes.
yes.
And what is that insight telling you?
That it is me who is aware, and also right now I'm present somehow, or yes.
And this presence is also apparent to you. You are aware of even presence. This is the simplicity of it, but the difficulty seems is only when we try to swim in the well and the ocean at the same time. Can't swim in the well and the ocean at the same time, meaning that we cannot really skip over like this, in the sense that uh, till we are empty, till we are pure-hearted in some sense, not in the way we usually refer to the heart, but most of us have a sense of this word. Till we are empty of malice, till we are full of faith, till we are not taking ourselves to be so special, then it seems impossible to remain in God's light. Until we come to God's light, without God's light, it is not possible to really come to or remain in the recognition of what we truly are. So right now is the best place to start for all of us. Don't try to squeeze a me and God into the same room. Just empty of all individual concerns and considerations. And the light of your presence is unmissable in that way. And as the light of presence is unmissable, you also recognize that this being itself has no limitation. And that I am aware even of this being.
I would say I'm aware of the being, but the being itself doesn't have any quality of its own.
Yes, this is where we get to the strangeness, the weirdness of it. You see, is being manifest or unmanifest? If it was purely unmanifest, then we would say it is a pure absence. Isn't it? Completely unmanifest means pure absence. Then it would be very strange that we call it presence. Why would we call a presence absence? Then we say that, oh, Bhagwan said, the core of your being is the heart. Why would the sage like Bhagwan say it is the heart, or and can be experienced in the heart region if it was purely unmanifest? Even now, if you try to stop being, your attention will naturally also go towards a subtle vibration of your presence. As I try to stop being, it is not the same question as, are you aware now? Because in are you aware now, it doesn't matter where attention goes. But when I say try to stop being, although ultimately the answer does not depend on your attention, yet naturally it will gravitate towards the primordial vibration, which I've been calling the tip of the iceberg. So, coming back to the question, is it manifest or unmanifest? So it is manifest in this way that the pure primordial pulsation of it can be tasted in the subtlest possible way, and yet it is unmanifest because it is clear that it is unlimited. It is clear that this space is appearing within that This time appears within that, this universe appears within that, and that within which time and space appear can never be manifest, can never be perceived by us because our attention is not that vast, it is limited. So that's why I feel that the iceberg is a useful metaphor, that although there is a hook that we can latch on to, where that hook takes us is beyond conceptual and human understanding. And it is this hook which is a sign of great reassurance to some and a sign of great confusion to others. Because some may say that I don't believe in God. I don't believe that there is any other force beside the physical forces like gravity and electricity and all of these things. And if you were to ask them, do you exist? Are you existent? Even they cannot deny that. You see? So at that point, if they don't get too much caught up in the mind and say, but this could be just my brain producing chemicals and all of that, which is completely unverifiable because which brain is also not apparent to us. Whether this is a dream or waking state is not apparent to us. So whether this is a dream body or this is a waking body is not apparent to us. So which brain are we talking about? But if we go with what our heart is telling us, if they can let go of conceptual understanding for a moment, they will recognize that this presence is something vaster than they have taken themselves to be. In fact, vaster than anything that anyone can ever take themselves to be. So, without the subtlest taste of this presence, it would be very difficult for anyone to lead anyone to God. Because a switch from directly from the idea of name and form being the only reality to the pure unmanifest being the only reality seems too difficult for most. Therefore, this holy presence, this beautiful Sadguru heart, is available for us to latch on to as a lifeboat when we are struggling with life as well. So, when you experiment with this question, can I stop being? Is your inside purely empty of any taste?
Somehow I feel impossible to check right now.
I'm just going to remind you of some more things. So, Bhagwan said, in your heart, Guruji constantly speaks about the heart. In the Hanuman Chalisa we've been reading, it says, please make a home in my heart. Many times, very poetically also, to God, we say, please make your home in my heart, or your home is in my heart. So, is this purely romanticized ideas of the heart, or is there, and it doesn't have to be the heart, there I'm with you, it could be, you could experience it anywhere, it doesn't even have to, you don't even have to say it seems to be localized in a particular aspect of the body, but because here it seems very clearly apparent in the heart. Therefore, I have to go with that. But I don't feel like consciousness has to limit itself in that way, that it can only be experienced in this way. But I will say that it is a report of all the sages that this primordial Om or I amness becomes the lifeboat or the fishing hook or the holding point through which we can come to the unmanifest. And by the way, coming to the unmanifest through it doesn't mean that it's just a sort of boatman or ladder or something like that. It is God itself. It is God's own holy presence. So there's no difference between God's presence and God. So is this presence manifest or unmanifest?
There is in the waking, like I remember saying this, and it's like it's undeniable that there is like when the waking state comes, when I wake up like that, there is like aliveness or something even now, and like it's like a consciousness maybe.
Yes. So if in the unmanifest woke up, really, then we would not say that I woke up, because it's just so in the unmanifest, the manifest wakes up, and the manifest is the manifest because it has the primordial vibration. So let's really look at this. Are you here now?
Yes, I'm here now.
Okay. Is that same as saying that you are aware?
No.
What is the difference?
When I check, if I'm aware, I'm aware that. Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Take your time.
It's very good question.
Yes. So when we say, am I here now, or can I stop being? It's not the same question as, am I aware? It's not the same question. Both are intuitive insights. And yet, intuitively, we can get a sense of the vastness of consciousness, the subtleness of consciousness's presence as the primordial vibration, as well as that absolute which is aware of consciousness.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and I know it's true in my heart, completely.
Where else do you need to know it?
Nowhere else. Nowhere else. Just nowhere else.
If you know it's true in your heart, then it's true in your heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, were you saying that you know it's true because I'm saying it? So it must be true. Is it an inference in that way? And you trust me, and there is devotion and there is faith. Therefore, you will know conceptually that it has to be true, but it is not yet insight for you. Is that what you say?
That's what I meant also. It's the appearance of awareness is like yes, and it seems like when you speak about the conscious vibration, it seems elusive. It seems this I am not aware, and in the sense when what you explain, it's impossible for it not to be this. Yeah.
Yes, but if it is difficult, then how do we know that the two questions are different? Am I here now, and am I aware? What is the difference in these two questions? Is it the same? I'm here now, or I am aware. What's the difference? What's the difference in the two questions?
I'm aware is that I know that without paying my attention or anything, I just know it.
Yes.
It's a knowing. And I'm here is, it's an, I call it an experience, rather, like it's just,
Louder even.
I'm here now is that I know that I exist. Yes. And it's almost
That I exist.
experience.
Yes.
It's almost
Now
like
that exists, I exist, is it manifest or unmanifest?
it, yeah. Like
That answer you have, but is that your insight as well?
yeah. It seems like it exists, like it's manifest, seems,
Yes.
but also it's unmanifest, that I know.
Yes. Because you're not having an experience of its unlimitedness, isn't it? You can't have that experience because for that you don't have the tool to have that like experience as a perception. And yet all of you mostly will say, and if you're being intuitive, always will say that it is unlimited. So when we conclude that I am here, and also that I am unlimited, what are we really relying on for these intuitive insights?
I cannot say that I'm unlimited. Like, I wouldn't say I'm limited, but yes. It's not so apparent that I'm unlimited.
Yes. So what you're saying is that I can't find a limit or a boundary because I run out of attention. So can we say that your being is larger than your attention?
Yeah. Yes.
And yet, can we also say that your being can be brought into, or an aspect of your being can be brought into focus with your attention?
Maybe so.
Let's look at that. Let's look at that. So when Maharaj said, keep your attention on your being, what was he talking about? Keep your attention in the sense I am. All of us have heard this. So what are they talking about?
It feels the attention is resting in the I amness itself. It cannot go outside of the being.
All right. So while we were having this conversation, Chinmay wanted to say something. So she was.
I just wanted to say that the attention can bring us to the perceivable aspect, of the being, Father. Like you say, the tip of the iceberg. It could be like a vibration or something like that, which is a bit perceivable. Yes. Although I can't say whether it is manifest or unmanifest. Still, I can't say that. But definitely, it's something which is.
Well, perceivable and manifest is the same thing.
Okay.
So you notice that there's a manifest aspect of it because of its like subtlest perceivability, and the unmanifest of it because you know it intuitively, but one clue is how big is your being. That's a clue. So you recognize that you can confirm that it has no limitations, but you can never confirm the lack of limitations of something, the absence of limitations of something with your attention, isn't it? Because that itself is limited.
In fact, that was the point I was coming to, that with attention, I cannot perceive the unlimited nature of
Exactly.
my being. It
Exactly.
can only be done when I
It's like a
believe
weighing
myself.
scale that goes to 200.
Yes.
Then you cannot say whether something is 500 or 1,000. You see, so you would not be able to say it's infinite amount of weight. You see, because the weighing scale itself is only up to 200.
So then, in that case, Father, the question I sometimes maybe get is that so at this point I leave my attention and then only I can perceive this unlimited nature of.
Yes, whether you leave it or not,
Okay.
even if you keep it on the vibration or you keep it in the world, intuitively you can still have the sense of that. So, but without that intuitive sense of your being, you can never have the intuitive sense of being aware of awareness.
That's right.
That's what I was.
Thank you.
Experiment and play with this.
And thank you.
Please.
Father, this awareness, when we say that awareness is infinite or unlimited, I'm not able to relate to this with my experience, because
actually awareness is not, in the sense that awareness is neither infinite nor infinitesimally small. You see, it just doesn't apply. These criteria, or which can have opposites, just doesn't apply to it. So that which is aware of size and space and all of that, for something to be very large also, it has to have at least some quality which is very large, isn't it? So what is that in awareness? Is there something like that? That which is aware, we cannot point to its location, we cannot point to its size, because all of these things just don't apply to it. If it was very large, then it would still have to be somewhere for it to be large. You see, and that then somewhere had to be bigger than that to contain it. Isn't it? So, but because it doesn't even have the quality of shape or size or any quality whatsoever, it is pure nirguna. It is unfathomable to anything, any of the traditional empirical tools and constructs that we may have. This we can only know beyond conceptual knowledge, beyond empirical means. That is why self-knowledge is the simplest and most difficult. Simplest, if you're empty. Most difficult, if there's the mildest, mildest condition, mildest notion, mildest position.
Father, one follow-up question to this. If I have a headache, I'm aware of my headache. So my awareness seems to be limited to or capable of sensing the pain in my body.
So
but
what
it
is the
not
difference
able
between
to
attention and awareness?
Pardon?
What's the difference between attention and awareness? Like, do you bring attention to the headache, or are you aware specifically of the headache? Or are they the same thing?
By paying attention to the headache, I become aware of it. My awareness is able to register the headache. But what I am saying is, I'm not able to sense the headache of the person sitting next to me. So somewhere is that a limitation of awareness, in the sense that I'm aware of the setting sun. I can be, but not the pain of a person physically next to me.
Yes.
What is this kind of? It's a riddle.
So, is the world real? Or is it unreal? So, and why that question is important, and maybe I can find some middle ground to that, is your dream real or unreal? Huh? Is it real? It can seem real. It is designed, whoever's designed it, to make it seem real. In fact, we could be having this conversation in a dream. You see? Now, if this is a dream and I tell you, I have some pain in my knees, but you don't experience it, then is that pain real or unreal? So you would say that in my dream only what I experience is real. Only that you may say, although real is still a question mark. You see, you may say that only that exists which is my experience because it is my dream. You see? Like in the dream, if you're looking at your room, what is outside your room? But I can see the burr is forming.
Whether it is a dream or not a dream, whatever it is,
Yeah.
there are some things which I'm able to sense and some which I'm not.
Yes.
Whether if it's a dream also, that limitation is
Yes.
there. If it is not a dream also, that limitation is there.
Yes. But when you mean sense, do you mean perceive or
Perceive.
intuitively?
Perceive.
Perceive. So when you dream also, that limitation is there. But in the dream, if you were to tell me, okay, Father, I had this dream where I was in Tiruvannamalai and we went to the ashram. I said, yes, that was happening in Tiruvannamalai, but what was happening in Timbuktu in your dream? There was no Timbuktu. Only my dream was about Tiruvannamalai. So, does the pain that you are not aware of, can you claim its existence to be reality? Does the world that you are not aware of, can you claim its reality? We are not even coming to the Vedantic definition of reality and unreality. It means everything that you perceive is not real anyway. You see, so it's less than a dream or it's just like a dream. So even if you don't take that definition or concept of reality and unreality, can anyone ever conclude that this is undoubtedly happening, that Gopala is having some pain that you are not aware of because he's telling you? So it questions the very basic premises that we have built up our life on. So what is happening? Is there a world outside what you're perceiving right now?
Seems to be, because if my neighbor, if Gopala says he is having a headache,
Yeah. But he could be saying that in a dream also. Is that which is perceivable real? Or is it unreal? And if that which is perceived itself is unreal, then what to talk about that which is just conceptual and not even perceivable? What does your heart tell you about that? You see? The same place where you recognize that you are aware. You see? If it is telling you about the true nature of yourself, try to rely on that for the true nature of the world as well. Because if we go with the seems to be, then the whole Leela is seems to be. We can say instead of Leela, we can say seems to be. Or instead of Maya, we can say seems to be. I seem to have been born. I seem to die. Everyone around me seems to have been born. They seem to die. And yet all the sages tell us that there is no birth and there is no death. But if you were to value the seems to be, then what are these strange ones saying? What is that which we know for a fact which is beyond what seems to be? Does our presence seem to be, does awareness also seem to be what is beyond phenomenal perception and inductive reasoning? So let's remain in the same quote-unquote place where that which is beyond human comprehension is being discovered by us. And what is the answer coming from there? Mind?
You asked him, oh, can we look at if you're aware of something? He said, I don't know, nose, aware of your nose, or you said, can we look at if the attention is there, or are you, can you say more?
Yes, yes. So when we say that there is pain,
yeah,
and we can say, I was aware of the pain, does that mean that when our attention goes to it, or are we saying that it's just pure awareness independent of perception?
attention goes to it.
Attention goes to it. So in this world of this realm of perception, only that which we perceive, we can say this is what we perceive. Whether it's real or unreal is still up for debate. Now, does that exist which we do not perceive? And what is the way in which we can know that?
Is this only if I know it as a, like, I can't.
Louder? The mic doesn't help the room,
Oh.
it just helps the...
It exists. Only in my imagination. I mean, in that sense, like if I can.
If it exists in my imagination, then it exists only in my mind.
Say again.
If it exists in my imagination, then we can say it exists only in my imagination.
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it the same? That's my question is it the same to say I'm aware of the pain?
Yes.
Is it okay to say I'm aware of the
It's
pain?
okay
Like
say anything. It's okay. But when you're really diving in, then sometimes good too. Because why that question is important is many times we confuse awareness and attention.
yes.
Yes. I was just making sure we are not doing that. Because what attention goes to, we feel like, okay, that is awareness. Attention never goes to the self.
Father, I feel like there's something that's not clear. I just want to clarify this.
What is the difference between awareness and attention?
Like here, I can say I'm aware of my being, and from my being, the attention moves and I perceive.
Okay.
Okay. Correct me if I'm.
No,
this is how I experience this. What did you ask just before this one?
Just what is the difference between awareness and attention?
Attention is attention.
So if I tell
Awareness,
you that this universe is within you, can you know that through what?
intuitively.
An intuitive insight is just bringing you like granules of knowledge which is unlimited from awareness itself, from the self itself.
Slowly, Father.
Yes. So if I was to say that I am aware that this universe is within me, it would not be wrong. But if I was to say I perceive that this universe is within me, then that would be impossible.
Okay. Yeah.
So although the difference seems minor because both are non-phenomenal, but actually the difference is unbelievable. You see? So that which we are aware of, a very, very little tiny percentage of that our attention can go to.
The slow, very slow.
Yeah, I'm going really slow.
Slower.
Yeah, so that which I'm aware of,
That which I'm aware of.
so you are aware that you're.
Yeah.
But does your attention go to that? I mean, we could stretch it to say, yes, I have past life experiences, or I can.
It's not
get
that
some,
kind of knowledge.
but it's not that kind of. You see? Now that which we are aware of, how do we know? Because everything that we are aware of, we are not. It's not bursting out of
So
us.
now you're saying aware of
Intuitive
knowledge or aware of
So we
perception?
know what we are aware of. Like we can convey what we are aware of only intuitively. No?
But when you say I'm aware of perception,
I'm aware of perception.
that is also intuitively known?
Well, it's the same device. Like I'm aware of perception, and that I'm aware of it is only intuitive to tell. There's no perception of that. Like there's perception, there's a concept, and there's intuition. You see?
Yeah.
So when I'm aware of perception, is it a perception? That I'm aware of perception?
No.
It's not a perception. Is it just a concept?
No.
Then is it just known like that? And that is what that which is just known like that is intuitive. With me?
Yeah.
Is this part was too fast or? Huh?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I can say that everything that I know intuitively, I'm aware of, but not everything I'm aware of, I know intuitively.
I lost you.
Or I can convey intuitively.
Low Father.
So I can say that everything that I know intuitively, I am aware of. Isn't it? Oh, no.
Say again,
Everything that I know intuitively, I am aware of.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not able to process it at all.
Let's take our time with it. So when we say I know intuitively, we're saying we are aware of, but not perceiving of or thinking of.
Yeah.
Kind of synonymous knowledge.
Kind of synonymous. Yes, the intuitive knowledge and self-knowledge is kind of synonymous, but I'm telling you the difference. The difference is that I cannot say, I can say that everything that I know intuitively, I'm aware of. Isn't it? But can I say that everything I'm aware of, I can say intuitively? There are many things which I can't say intuitively. Yeah? Not necessarily perception. It's
Give
just
an
that,
example of how.
like if I say, but then that would be to say intuitively what I'm aware of, no? That millions of universes have come and gone within me. It's
Can't
intuitive.
follow you at all. Somehow it's just feeling like so fast. Sorry, Father, I can't follow you.
You heard me say million times that millions of universes have come and gone within me. You see? Now I must be aware of that. That's why I'm saying. But how do I know I'm aware of that? Because my intuition tells me.
Yeah.
There may be millions of things like that which I'm aware of, but my intuition doesn't bring it to fore.
That is someone not.
Waiting to interrupt. Statement that you made.
Yeah.
The statement that you made that the whole universe, I'm aware that the whole universe is within me. Now this, I'm lost because I can recognize awareness in me, or I recognize awareness. But beyond that, to relate this awareness to the universe, or that's exactly the point I was making, that I'm not even able to relate it to the headache of a person sitting next to me, leave alone the whole universe or the universes that have come and gone.
Okay,
That's
so,
my experience. I'm talking from my experience, and I'm not able to differentiate between intuition and awareness.
Okay, very good. So Let's go really slowly at this, because something is happening, no? Something is going on where the sage, like Ashtavakra says, you are the boundless ocean in which the arcs of the universes come and go. Nisargadatta Maharaj said, these universes are just like fireflies, they come in front of me and they perish. You see? I also said, like little old me has also said that millions of universes like this have come and gone within me. So something weird is going on somewhere. So how is it that they can say these things? And we know for a fact that they are not liars. You see? So how is it that Ashtavakra, Maharaj, all the masters, in some way or the other have said these things? So are they speaking out of perception? Because they're also saying that perceptually everyone is the same. You are having the same experiences as everybody else. So they're not speaking out of perception. Then what are they speaking out of? And the clue is, where do I know myself as my unlimited being, or as myself as pure awareness itself? There where I know myself in this way, all these answers may get revealed. Not in the way that we usually look at perception or experiences.
That is clear.
So we have to, so if it is not clear to us intuitively, then all we have to do is be patient and wait for it to flower. Because it cannot be, like, there's no mechanism to do it, no? Because it is beyond empirical means. I cannot say, look more this way and it will happen that way. Yeah. Everything that I can say intuitively, I can confirm that I'm aware of.
Yes.
You see, so intuitively I can say, this world is within me, time and space arise within me, they're an aspect of my being. You see, intuitively I can say all of this. So, and I must be aware of them, and that is why I'm saying them. But everything that I'm aware of may not have flowered in my intuition, or may have come up intuitively for us to
This
share.
part is something's
Yeah.
happening here. I don't
Yeah.
get this part.
Yeah.
Everything
Like,
that I'm aware of.
yeah. So there are times where I can say that I have an intuitive sense that things will go like this. This will be good. This will be like that. You see, all will be fine.
Yeah.
You see, something like that. Sometimes I don't know, because they're not there intuitively.
So what do you
And
mean by
yet,
aware of? Like the
so, and yet, because I am it, you see, like you are it. Therefore, that which is the birthing ground of all of this must be aware of it, but is still not available intuitively. No? So what is the difference between intuitive insight and that supreme intelligence which knows everything?
some differences there, like
Yes. So
something
you
is
can
there.
say that intuitively, like we talked about this, no? You said intuitively I had a sense that I had to come to satsang, although my body was very tired. Something just brought me there. But intuitively, you cannot say, I know what's happening in here, there, you see what's happening with Shamek at work. We can't say always for everything. So although intuitive knowledge is like a subset of what we are aware of, you see, it cannot
Intuitive
claim.
knowledge is a subset
It is a subset, no?
of what we are aware of.
Yes.
Just of awareness, no? Like when you say what we are aware of, I always feel like there is an object.
Are you looking at awareness as if it is attention or perception?
No. But when you say aware of,
Yes.
so you're saying,
So if I say, it just came to me in my heart that tomorrow a beautiful unfolding will happen in your house.
yeah.
Are you feeling that I was not aware of it earlier, or that intuitive insight had not emerged earlier?
Yeah, there was no awareness.
I must have been aware of it because I am that in which these universes come and go as fireflies. No?
So you're saying like the intuitive knowledge is,
A subset.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, say it your way. Sorry, I shouldn't have interjected.
You're saying like, so when the intuitive, like some intuitive sense arises, it was, so,
Arises, no?
yeah, so
So,
I'm aware of it now.
wait. So, are you feeling that before its arising, awareness was unaware of it?
That is the catch for
Is
me.
it? Then where did it arise from?
From awareness only.
How? For it to have arisen from awareness, awareness must have been aware of it.
Like it, all the knowledge is in awareness.
That's what I'm saying.
But
And yet it is not intuitively
so,
apparent to
so
us.
Father, like,
Yes.
okay, it's clear that it arises from awareness.
Yes. Therefore, awareness has it all.
Yeah, but it's,
We are inferring a bit, but it's okay.
yeah,
Little
no,
bit we
it's
can.
clear that
Yeah.
has it all.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet, if you say this one is fallen a bit sick, what do you feel is going to happen? I may say to you, I don't know intuitively, it's not clear. And sometimes I may say intuitively, I feel like it's going to be like this. So I think then when I don't know, then I'm not aware of.
Like I never looked at this at all. It's like
Beautiful.
something very like
Yeah,
stark.
it is very subtle. Like intuitive insight is that which we are aware of. But is everything that I am aware of, is that available as intuitive insight to me right now?
Awareness is aware of itself. That's no, like awareness is itself.
And itself means
And it
everything.
contains all the knowledge.
Yes. Exactly.
But yeah, to say when you're using words, we can say awareness was aware of the intuitive, like,
Yeah.
no.
But then what should happen then is that because the sage is just living in the heart, then they should be living like a time traveler, no? Like in a movie like what is that, Groundhog Day, where they know, oh, car is going to come from here. Cut. It should be just be. It doesn't happen like that. Why doesn't it happen like that? Because the heart makes available to those who are even living in the heart only that which is auspicious at that point of time, or what needs to be in its own intelligence.
Okay.
So no sage can ever claim that, oh, I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
They can say that that intuitive ability which is here, in that all knowledge can sprout. But I am just witnessing that. I cannot force it, or I cannot compel it. Only God can.
Father, is it like this that I mean, I don't remember the labels, but like the distinction you're making is one kind of knowledge that is self-knowledge, that I am aware, and then there's being, then there's the rest, and the other is whatever we parrot from God. He presents it to us, and then we just say it. So
Yes.
it's not.
And we
That's
not
the following part, and the knowledge part is different. The following and the knowing part. That's what
Yes.
you're saying. Are these the two categories?
Yes, in a way, we can say like that. But it's more woo-woo than that. Like when I have the sense that this universe is appearing within myself, of course it is heart knowledge, but it is not that I don't have a sense of that, besides it just being the words which are emerging from my heart.
But that knowing is that self-knowledge. That is the knowing part. You don't exactly know that these words are the right words to say when God presents it.
Exactly. So we don't, and we also recognize that the words are never accurately or adequately representing what we know intuitively.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, the comic book thing is very clear to me that everything that has and will and is happening has already happened at some level. It's very, very apparent to me in my heart. But do I know every frame of the, like, can I reproduce every frame of the comic book right now? No, I can't.
This is what you're saying.
Exactly. But it may come. You see, it may come where something gets revealed and I say something like that. Oh, yes. So, do some of you also have the sense that everything that has happened and will happen has already happened or is already somewhere or no? Some of you may have this sense. So for those of you that have this sense, can you tell me what is going to happen at 10:25 a.m. tomorrow morning? Cannot say. Most of you can't say. Maybe intuitively, if you look right now and God's grace, it may come. But it's usually not like that, where we can say. And yet we know that so when this notion of predetermination is shared, it seems very linear to our mind, but actually that is what is implied, that every single possibility is already available somewhere. But can we say that this is how it's going to play out in our stream of life? Most can't say.
Already available is okay. When you say it's already happened, that there I have like a little bit of
So, but available and happened, what is the difference? It has to have happened for it to be available. In what way is it available?
all the possibilities are available.
Yes, but all the possibilities are there, not just
But it's not like a happening. I feel like
is. What is the happening?
Future, not past. And it's going to happen. It has not happened.
What is that?
Time.
How do you know that we are going into the future and not into the past? It's all Vasu's fault. See, we make these very like intellectual conclusions about life. That the past was the past, the future is the future. How do we know? How do we know that we don't start off on the deathbed and we lead a life towards going to the mother's womb and returning back to the parent?
That part is fine.
Huh?
This part is fine. But
Then is the past already happened or is the future already happened?
the available and the happened part is
Yes, so that which has happened is past or future? That only I'm answering. So, that which has happened is fine. Happened means already happened is past.
Yeah.
And how is that different from future? How do we know that memory is not premonition?
But you're talking about happened in the possibility of. Say it again.
Okay, let me say it in a way that is non-confusing. It is already timelessly present. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's yeah. Like available, I understand somewhere. But happened, then it's just the term I know, but
like what is happening? Has the future not happened? Is the past not waiting for us? Maybe all that we experience as the past is only what we see in memory, and memory only comes in the future, isn't it? So when it comes in that so-called memory, then it becomes something which is perceivable, and that we call the past or the future. Yes, you can say
something. Yeah, because as you're talking now, it's happening from the space, and especially I want to bring in the comparison of time and space, and space is not linear, and time is linear in our head. And now, as you talk, I see. Because since the beginning of our talk today, of this, our exchange, I'm looking at awareness as field, as a space, and as an all-encompassing space. And now talk about premonition, past and future, being almost the same, which we are actually all.
My dear, the audio is
Sorry?
not.
No, no.
Your
The
audio.
audio is not good.
Yes. So we.
Sorry. Should I start again?
Yes, just the
Is it
highlights.
better now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm just saying, and now as you're talking about past and future being almost the same, and because like reflection of each other, reflecting each other, I see my feeling of the seeing the awareness as space, as all-encompassing space, is kind of confirmed through this, because we are used to think in time and projection and when we look at things which are the potential of awareness, everything is in awareness, and awareness is kind of including everything, but we cannot, we are used to focus in time and in linear things. So that's why we don't access to the wholeness of awareness, because I'm a bit confused in the way I express it, but I'm quite sure you can follow it. So to me, it is when you talk about intuition, like when you're talking about intuition, I see intuition is a kind of attention in the pure awareness, the intuition moving inside the pure awareness. You say I cannot access to every time I want to a part of I'm sorry, somebody was calling me. Something can be in awareness without me being able to access it. So awareness is all encompassing. Awareness is really, and I see it the way you talk. I feel it also in my sense of what is presence and nirguna being. So we are just trying to find our way in out of a linear thinking, in a circular thinking, let's say, or spherical thinking, if we have to put it in a geometrical way. So this is for me, we are just learning to today, especially to look at what is insight, what is intuition and insight, and how we can kind of learn to focus this way, because I'm quite aware that there are beings who are able to see each one's reality and unreality as something relative, but still everything is seen by them. See your illusions, they can see, and you can see my illusions, and so this awareness exists. This intuition even exists. People who can see on over distances very concrete things. These all things are seen, but they are not seen in a linear way. That's all the thing I just get now. I just catch, Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Very good, my dear. Okay, so yes. I can't see who is speaking. Yes, my dear, please come.
I hope I didn't disturb the flow.
No. It's completely fine. It's just your audio is not great today, so we're all struggling to hear you a bit. But
Oh,
nice report. Nice report.
thank you.
While we wait for him to say, yeah, I just want to say that first time we are delving into this in so much detail.
It's just hard to express.
You want to say something, or should we come back to you, my dear?
Yeah, just I want to say thank you. Getting a bit emotional.
Let me zoom into your screen.
I don't know what's
Beards are
happening.
the same size. Our beards are the same length almost. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, my dear.
There's no way back.
Right.
I thought I'm going crazy.
That there's no way back is good news, no? You're saying it like good news. Very good, very good.
I love you, Guruji.
What's your time up? Jyotika wants to ask a question, so she set an alarm. It's, now this is my time. Oh my love, all my blessings. Thank you. All my blessings. All my.
If with your it would be my wish to come to Bangalore at some point.
Yes, you're very welcome. Very welcome to come. Except in the last week of April and the first week of May, I'm away for a few days to visit my son. But besides that, anytime, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, my love. Oh. Yes. No pressure.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, that's a silly question. No, but when you said, because I was just gonna ask when you're saying, no, the arcs of universes come and go, and it's intuitively a scene. Like, and even I remember that when I'm stating from a memory, even now I know that arcs of universes come and go, that it's vast, and with attention I can't know the limit of my being. And but somehow there was also a subtle expectation that I'll see it.
You would see it.
That I'll see it, that universes, and I always wanted to ask you that, did you see it like that, like universes come and go?
And this is kind of what Shiv's question also was. It's very very deep, this question of see it. No,
Yeah.
when we see something, when we perceive something, there's a perceptual aspect of it, and there's a awareness of or a seeing of it which is independent of the stimulus. Is it? Because you could see, hear, taste, touch, smell, and usually we call that experience. But there's a deeper knowing, or whether we can also call it a seeing in some way, that although nobody can have a perceptual experience, because it's not like a fantasy movie or something. You have this experience that there's a vast universe, boundless ocean in which the universes are getting into like Noah's arks and they're coming and going. Like, what would that seeing actually be? Because what is being said is beyond like any visualization. You see? So, what is aware of versus perceiving of? You see? And when we say it is just known, is it like something which then can be doubted because it is like just known, or is it more undoubtable because it is known that way? You see? And it's very woo again, because it all depends on where we place perception on the scale of reality. You see? And if you place perception on the scale of unreality, which is what the Vedanta starts with, you see? Basically that none of Vedanta will get anywhere unless you realize that everything that you perceive is unreal, is coming and going, and reality does not come and go. So, what is more stable knowledge? Is it that which is perceptual, or it is known independent of perception? And therefore, if there's something known independent of perception, would we call that the truer seeing or no? But not perceiving. Yes, please.
Even like this also, I'm going to state from memory also, that I remember that when you were pointing to us one time in Satsang, and it seemed very clear, that not clear like this, like the way I'm stating it right now, that I know this, but it seemed very clear that the acts of it was a clear scene. But it also seems like now an experience like that was just almost granted. And I don't know, like it was just, so that's why I was just wondering.
That's what I'm asking. So let's take a simpler one. So the universe is nothing but a firefly for me. So our mind can make a visualization out of that, like the whole universe contracting, becoming a firefly, like that. But that is not the seeing on which a sage will rely to give you that report. So there's a non-perceptual, that's what insight really is. No? Like insight is also a sight, like insight. So it's like inner sight. So it is a seeing, but it is insight. It is beyond perceptual, beyond the realms of usual human understanding and perception. But if you were to say to Ashtavakra, how could you say that the arcs of the universes come and go within you as the boundless ocean? Did you see this? You could question Ashtavakra. Did you see this? And only if you see it, you should put it there, no? Because for centuries, people are going to read your stuff. So what do we feel he would say? He would say, yes, I see it like that, but I don't see it like this, but I see it like that. The same way that you see yourself as the unlimited reality, and there's nothing to see over there. You see your being that wakes up boundless, and you see that time and space wakes up within you, but you don't see it like this. So this is the woo-woo type of seeing, which we call intuitive insight, which to the world is just hocus pocus nonsense. And yet, how is it that the sages through centuries and through millennia have been similar in the usage of metaphors, in the usage of what they have found? So is that seeing, is in intuitive insight seeing or not seeing? It depends on our definition of what we mean.
Like even our others, even in awareness, it's insight and intuitive knowledge. And that also seems like a seeing, but it's not perception.
Yes. The non-perceptual seeing.
The seeing, right? The inner insight. It's not visual.
Will that be just a strong experience? Or
if by experience you mean perception, then no.
no, again, not like something.
See, experience is a word. No?
Okay.
Now, for me, it may mean something different. For you, it may mean something different. So, what does it mean for you? And I will tailor my answer based on that. When you say experience, you imply what?
Like, I know that, like, for example, if there's a strong insight I'm getting, since it can't be, we can't rely it on our visual or anything outside of me. And how do I know that this insight is real insight? So that's a question.
Okay, let's take an example. Would you say you can whatever, feel free, but I would hazard a guess and say you love your parents. Is that an experience? Then what is it?
It is
Exactly.
It is.
It is like that. No? It's a bit of both. You see, and I've said no that although, like with kids, this is a beautiful example. So we always love our children, but many times you're feeling angry with them. You're feeling like they just don't listen. All of these things. But in that moment, if somebody says, "Do you love your children?" You'll say yes. But is that your experience? Then not perceptually, but you know. So what is that knowing?
But for this example, there is a lot of reliance on the past and the memory.
Okay, right
some
now,
kind of a correlation.
Right now, you love someone. Okay. So if you love someone, how do you know? Through an experience? Just the pehla nasha has to be there. Only then you know, or you know somewhere deeper.
Can we move beyond love to something else?
Yes.
To a larger truth?
Yes, yes. But love is a pretty large truth, actually. But okay. What do you feel? You were born or not born?
Like I probably correlate to I had an experience with God or something like that.
Were you born?
This is something like in the context of today's satsang, I cannot take a stand.
In the invitation, when you do, you say yes. I was born.
No.
You say no. You don't say I. That's fine too. That's fine too. Inquire. That you are here, is it because of perception alone? So if all perception went away, like Pankaj once said, no? That he was in Sahaja and it was so quiet and so dark that except for the sense that he was awake, there was nothing to perceive. You see? So what is that? How is that? You see? And is that being boundless or does it have a boundary? Is that an experience? If that is an experience, then what I'm saying is an experience. If it is beyond phenomenal and you have a different word for that, then it is that. So everything that is worth knowing this way.
Okay.
Everything else is ephemeral.
One day, I don't know. Okay. One day I had an experience. I was in meditation and very deep, and I went out of my body.
Yeah.
And I zoomed out, like out of the planet. And I was, like Guruji says, two eyeballs.
So last part says?
That I was two eyeballs, like
two eyeballs. Yeah.
Two eyeballs.
Yeah.
looking at the universe without a SD card, it says so definitely it was a perception.
Yeah.
When you were talking about intuitive insight I thought it was linked to the body and to the being, but having had this experience, I know that it was not my body, but awareness. But it was a perception. I cannot say it was an insight because I saw. Right. So can you comment?
So it is just like beautiful, but like in the realm of what you would call spiritual experiences, out of body, near death, all these kind of spiritual experiences, various realms being seen, all this kind of stuff. So I would say that yes, many times in our sadhana, in our search for God, many spiritual experiences also come. But if I was forced, like somebody put a gun to my head and said, no, you have to put value to what is greater, intuitive insight or spiritual experience, I would say intuitive insight, which is beyond phenomenal perception.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say is that maybe Ashtavakra is talking also about a perception he had, or no, you think it was a...
It's not possible to visualize the universes going in the boundless ocean, unless you're just talking about imagination, which I don't feel like he was doing. Huh?
In that case, the SD card seems to be there.
What?
The SD card.
SD card, yeah.
Father, Namaste, Father.
No.
Thank you. I feel very,
Very?
There is some illusions happening.
I can't. What is happening?
Can you hear me?
This part I can hear, the rest I can't hear so well.
Father, I want to tell you, burn me.
Burn me, you say?
Burn me.
Yes. What is left?
I don't know. It seems that there is some shapes that comes.
Yes. How do you know that you need to be burnt?
Because I'm saying I want to be burned.
Nothing else?
No, I don't know. What is your question?
No suffering, no pride.
Yeah, suffering, pride, many things are coming.
Yes, so that's what I'm asking. So what needs to be burnt? What are you most proud of? Let's start with burning that.
Well, there is, now there is a new shape that never happens to me before.
Shapes happen to you or you shape them?
I don't know. I shape them.
So that is very important because we move away from this sort of victim thing. Oh, this new shape has come. Oh, there, little old me, poor thing. I have to deal with the new shape. I wanted to be shapeless, but shape has come. But shape can't come. Can shape come unless we nurture it with our belief? Unless some way we want that shape, it can't come. You cannot say, oh, this came. You say, I made this shape and I value it somewhere. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. So now that needs to be burnt, and then that is the right prayer. That there's something of value in my mind, or the mind proposes some value in this. What is it? What is the shape? Relationship, money, spirituality, what is it?
Mm, myself.
Spirituality. That is spirituality.
But yeah, it's like I want to finish, you know, and dark energies and so.
Yeah, all spirituality.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you want to keep the good part of spirituality and take away like a bad part, and we want to become spiritually better. That is the shape.
Yes.
So nobody complains to me and says there's too much good energy, too much light. There's just too much light. Everybody complains about the dark energy that comes. But in this play of light and darkness, there will be both. No?
Yes. Yes.
Who are we to
So
pick?
for everything.
Who are we to pick what kind of energy should come?
Can you repeat, Father?
Who are we to be able to decide what energy we should experience? That is the shape that we need to get rid of. Become so empty that whatever comes remains untouched by it, because what is light and dark for that which is empty?
Yes.
So you cannot pick and choose and say, I will take the good parts of being somebody, but I don't want the bad parts of being somebody. I want the good parts of being spiritual, all the good energy, and you see all the knowledge and beautiful joy and love and all of that I want. But I don't want the opposite, which is natural in this world, that everything has its opposite and it will come. But if you don't want anything at all, if you're fully empty, then whatever comes, we are happy to accept. In our openness, everything comes and goes. So this inner acceptance is very important, because we cannot live in God's light without being empty inwardly. So this is the tool, the fuel for burning. If you could be somebody, who would that be?
Nobody at all.
Very good, very good. Then how can nobody suffer?
Cannot possible. It is not possible.
Very good. Just remember that suffering and pride are the same thing.
Okay.
And the one that needs to be burnt is made up of pride. We have
Pride, pride, what is pride?
the pride, say again?
What is pride?
Pride is the specialness, like I am somebody. Ta-da!
I'm somebody good and somebody bad
Yeah,
also.
either, both, yes. Any is somebody. Good, better, best, worst, okay. All somebodies are pride.
I'm nobody.
Yes. And sometimes even that is pride.
Father.
Yes.
Thank you. I want to finish with.
Why? Who are you to finish? Who are you to want to finish? What makes you so special that you deserve to finish?
Yeah, and
the 7 billion of us not finishing.
Friday.
Why should you finish? You see, so our pride is hidden like this. Like our pride gets hidden like this. That, but I want to find God. But who are we to find God? I want to finish all of this. Who are we to finish all of this? The whole world is suffering. What is so special about us that we should finish? Don't finish. Just don't be anybody. Neither finish nor unfinished. Nothing. You see, there comes a point in spirituality where our humblest prayers become the crutches for the identity itself.
Becomes the food.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So I give you myself. Yeah, I don't know. I just be empty and that's all.
Yes, but not empty for anything. Just be empty.
Yes, because I want to be empty to not be anything.
Just be empty. After saying it herself, she was going away.
Well, thank you, Father.
My dear, couldn't hear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you, and I want to go also to see you.
Yes, yes.
Can I come?
Yes, of course you can come.
I don't know where because I have to see the money and all these things.
God will give us. God will give us. So we.
Thank you, Father.
My child. Thank you. There's a similar question. Did you ask? No. Father, how many visitors can you allow at a time? If one wishes to come to your place, we've never been full. In 12 years, there's never been a day where we've been full. So I'm sure we'll be fine. Come. You can come. Kunal can come.
Hello, Father. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I do.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. I just wanted to share that yesterday I was at the park and just randomly it kind of popped up the remembrance of when you tell us sometimes, stop it, stop it. If we get too much in here and all this stuff. So it was kind of beautiful how that came up, and it did help me kind of find a bit of silence, I guess, or I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. That's all that I wanted to say though for today, and I'm keeping up with the pointings as best as I can.
Very good. All my love. Hold on a second, let me mute everyone. Okay, who wanted to come? Sadha.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the beauty of the stop it pointing. We're on vacation. That was the first thing you ever said to me. So our first satsang together was stop it, and I'm with my 4 grandchildren, I have step grandchildren, my husband's grandchildren. We're all on a family vacation now. And there's been a lot of friction inside about sort of a lot of person energy with blended family and so many dynamics, all of us in one place, and a lot of insecurities. And all of a sudden,
I think whatever,
the second to youngest one
whatever
said,
Ayurveda you're doing, whatever
the
Ayurveda you're doing is definitely working. With grandchildren, we cannot visualize for you.
Thank you. Yeah, my oldest stepdaughter is in her 30s. So she has 4 kids. And we were just in them. I was feeling like a lot of personal energy coming. And all of a sudden, one of them just said, "Stop it."
Oh, yes.
They all started saying, "Stop it, stop it, stop it" to each other. So that's our new favorite video. So I just needed to Puno Sharma, thank you so much for that, for your share, because it's ended up being a nice satsang here amidst what we might call distraction, noise, all of this sort of stuff that has been quite a solitary, quiet life. So it's a nice testing ground for sure. Hi, Nina. Want to say hi?
Hello. Hi.
Sorry, Neen. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You can stay. You can come out from behind the curtain. I promise. I promise I won't do that again. I promise. That was mean of Lala. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, my love. Thank
Just
you.
and if you might just bless this delicious family of these beautiful 4 little ones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it just got so quickly.
Before we go, just a quick reminder about the beautiful and holy day that we're having this satsang on today. I feel like a very simple way to look at Christ, crucifixion of Christ, Christ on the cross, is just to, like many of you I know, especially in India and maybe in the West also, we feel like the Guru, the Master's body can take on some of our afflictions.
Talking about Jesus now. You're not on camera, I promise. It's talking very quietly though. See if you can hear.
We can hear you. One second, I'll mute you. So I was just saying that many of you in Satsang also feel, and with great masters like Guruji and Papaji, Bhagwan, all of these great masters, we also have seen how their bodies, how their energy systems can take on things after long periods of sharing, how they need to rest, because in one way, in a beautiful way, God has designed this to flow in this way, this water to flow in this way, that there's a beautiful bhajan that we sing sometimes. It goes, Jo Guru Kripa Kare, Koti Ka Karam Katat Pal Chinme, which means that for those who believe in the notion of karma or karmic theory, they say that thousands of years of bad karma can be afflictions or conditions in this way, through the Master's grace, can be cleaned up in a moment. And many have this feeling when they go for the Kumbh Yatra and take a dip in the holy river, in the Ganga as well, that in that one dip, all their afflictions, all their conditions, all their so-called karmic baggage can all be cleaned up. So crucifixion, the Jesus being put on the cross, in a way represents is taking all the karma of the world, all the afflictions, all the conditions. Like sometimes in India, as parents, we say, and very often we say that to our children, we say that whatever afflicts you, let that be mine. And in a Sangha, of course, the Guru is always praying that as long as it is auspicious, may all that afflicts their children, may that be for them to bear, and may their children never have to go through suffering, which is possible for the master to go through. You would rather have that, or anyone in the world actually. So a question to ask before any of us can share is, would you be willing to take on the suffering of the entire world if you had to, by virtue of you bringing the light of God to the world, in the sense of praying for it, blessing everyone and guiding everyone to it. So in a way, God himself, an avatar of God or the Son of God himself, decided that he will atone for or take on all the sins, all the afflictions, all the conditioning of the world. And that is the greatest gift that a father can give. It's like a fresh start, a complete ability to live in God's light from this moment on. And God himself chose to do that for us as Jesus Christ, fully God and fully human at the same time. So please don't any of us ever feel that, oh, it was easy because he was God. No, he was not just fully God, he was also fully human. That was the point. So to experience the human condition as full God and full human is something that our mind cannot understand, but that is what Jesus Christ was. So today is a day to be grateful, to fall at his holy feet and say thank you for that extreme sacrifice, because you also came as a full human and made that sacrifice for us. We are forever grateful, and may we follow in our own little ways in your footsteps and learn to live with your faith, your humility, your unconditional love for the entirety of humanity. Thank you for this beautiful sacrifice. You are the Lamb of God, and we are so grateful. May we also remember today that this is the way of the world. If any of us are expecting anything out of the world, out of this world, because of our spiritual attainment or our progress, are we expecting some love or respect out of this world for that? Please don't expect that. If it comes, it comes. But usually the way of the world is to fight that which is proposing a different way of life. And the whole world is living in their heads. For those who are going to propose the way of the heart, it is not going to be a cakewalk. So today's day is a beautiful representation of that as well. That the sweetest, the most loving, meekest, beautiful avatar, incarnate Son of God was put up on the cross in this world by these very people, by this very mind, which we are on a rampage against in some sense. May his love, may his light, may his grace bless us all. May we bow down at his holy feet, because it is only the God himself, the Son of God, the true incarnation, along with Ram, Krishna, all the beautiful incarnations that we've had the privilege of having in this world. It's only the true incarnation which can command the spirit, which can even predict the ways of the spirit of the Sadguru presence. All the teachers, all the sages, all of us can only request with hands folded that the spirit bless each one in the human condition, but we cannot compel it. Only God Himself could do that. So we always live in humility. We never make false comparisons. May we remember that at the highest, at the very highest, as long as we have this waking state, we must never consider ourselves to be anything greater than the smallest servant to God. May God bless you all with His deep faith and humility. All my love, all my blessings are with you. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki jai. Guru Kripa Kevala. About started getting used to sitting on the floor again. By this point, my knees are a little bit of trouble. Love you all.